then with that, the quota pecah, they cannot get housing loan. So we've been studying the pattern uh, of personal debt. So a lot of our issues, but then doesn't mean they cannot afford the installment. They can afford the installment, just that they cannot, pass through the bank processing guideline. So there's a reason. If it is a rent to own scheme, I think it can work. That means they rent first, whatever they are renting is like installment, all right, which they can afford. So as they rent, part of the rent go towards rental, part of it can be like saving, towards the deposit or the purchase price. They can rent 3 years, 6 years, 9 years. So when they have accumulate enough of that deposit and their salary has also increased, and maybe they will reduce their debt a bit. Then by then they will be able to eligible for a housing loan. Then they can convert rent to become own. So this is a process. This is a process that I think the government should encourage as well. But I think government is not doing enough. Especially you look at AKPK. AKPK is a government agency under Bank Negara, but they are here to help people to restructure debt. That's all. But you need to give education to the people. While you restructure your debt, you have to understand what is bad debt. Do not incur any more bad debt. How to create how to have reduce a bad debt, have good debt. Good debt will be those like your housing debt, right? So give them financial education, teach them to invest, things like that. Then slowly I think it will tilt around. It will tilt around. But rent to own is a very good scheme, especially now with property technology. So I would urge actually all our audience to start to pay attention to a lot of the crowdfunding platform. Okay, when we talk about crowdfunding, that is another way like a rent to own scheme. So we have technology platform licensed by maybe Security Commission. Okay, so they can crowdfund a property. So if I want to buy a property, I cannot afford, and then I cannot get loan from the normal bank. I can apply to a platform, and then from there are people who crowdfund the house for me. So maybe I have 1,000 people crowdfund. So those are my banker. So the house I will stay, I will pay rental, but pay money. So all this will come under P2P lending. It will probably even come under some of the property crowdfunding platform in Malaysia. Overseas, there are quite a number as well. Australia, Japan, England, United States. So this is going to be a trend in the future. Not only Malaysia. I think few other countries, they are facing the same problem. No young people cannot afford to get housing loan, so therefore they have to go to a platform. Now then, if you are a property investor, same thing. You can invest instead of buying the whole house and rent to this guy. You invest in a portion of the house. Maybe you just buy 1%. Then, so everybody buy 1%, then we rent it to this guy, so he pay rental to us. So that is another way to invest in property.
So it's just like buying share, you can buy share rather than just buying, so much of, yeah. So, I agree with you right now. A lot of people, their DSR burst already. It's really impossible for them to buy property right now. It's not that their salary is low. No matter how high the salary, right? You know that there's always a higher amount of debts and higher amount of expectation and commitment. I would say that nowadays a lot of people are spending future money also. The school doesn't teach. The school teach everything about the languages and all, whatnot, but they just don't teach us about how to manage the finances, which I saw quite a lot of people recently. I also do a lot of CITOS study on people, that a lot of them actually have got AKPK, like what you mentioned. And some of them has got few properties. They bought few at the same time. And hence, the AKPK that they have is already a black record inside the CTOS, which is very unlikely that they're able to take up any more loan. Even though they have got nice DSR, the AKPK in the previous years already backfired them. So correct. Crowdfunding, but I want to ask you, crowdfunding, will it be illegal in Malaysia for property?
Okay. Actually, in Malaysia, the government under Security Commission, they do issue license for crowdfunding and for property crowdfunding. So it has to be a licensed platform in Malaysia.
I see. Is there a
But
limitation?
you see, if we are an investor,
Is there a
okay,
limitation
now
on license? How many license
something
can they
very
issue?
okay, all right. Okay. So far, like equity crowdfunding, there is I think and then property crowdfunding, there's one company under the Edge Property. There was a
Correct.
license now, but that is for people who crowdfund property. Even now, the Security Commission are opening up for equity crowdfunding platform. Say, example, boutique size developer who needs to crowdfund, the boutique size developer can put their project on a platform and crowdfunding 20 million, up to 20 million.
Wow.
So imagine now, you and I, we are property investor. We can, in fact, now invest into the property developer and we become a developer. We can own
Correct.
shares in the property developer company.
Correct. That's very interesting way of become a developer. Now, anyone can become a developer if you want to, but of course, if you want reputation, you have to build it up and really do the right thing. We have got another question from the floor. Say, Simon asked, can Elizabeth Sue talk to us about what is the side effect of this property technology? Any pros and cons? Of course, we heard a lot of the benefit, but what is the weakness of this property technology?
Weakness. Oh dear. What do you, okay. Okay. I think what we look at it is any has got it's good and bad. Okay. Even you talk about manual way of signing a contract, all right? When you buy a property, you sign it manual way.
Correct.
Because I've been a lawyer for all these years, so many times do you notice the lawyer do not witness your signature? It is a clerk, right? You go to a law firm, they ask you to see a clerk, the clerk see you sign, the lawyer only chop. So you think that way is very safe, but instead to talk about electronic signature, you cannot appoint another person to sign. Because why? There's a lot of protocol. Whenever we talk about technology, I think people are more careful, okay, when it comes to technology. Because why? They need to prove. So we need to put in a lot of steps to show proof. You got to prove this is a person, this is the IC, then the one-time password, then you sign. Just like you're using credit card.
What
Just
about
like
the
you use credit
biometric
card,
part?
right? So now credit card usage, there's so many steps, when you want to use. Yes, it's part of it. Like facial recognition.
Okay.
You need to go through all that. Just like banking now, we open virtual bank account, right? So that is it's like what you just think of aeroplane. You fly aeroplane and you drive a car, right? Driving car we always think is very safe. Aeroplane is high technology, is very dangerous. But in terms of accident rate, the accident of air accident is so small percentage compared to car accident. Why? Because when it is so normal everyday life, you tend to be very careless in it. So things that are technology, people are more careful. We tend to be more careful. But of course, I can understand some of the concern coming in from what hacking your personal data. being used by other people, right? People can hack your data from Facebook, from wherever, this is something I think cannot be avoided already, all right? Unless, actually, all our data is everywhere. Unless you live in a jungle, you don't have mobile phone, you do not have Gmail, no Facebook, nothing, all right? Otherwise, actually, our data has been used, not our name and IC, okay? Because we always think our name and IC and phone number is very big. Actually, it's useless. They are, okay, in terms of data, that is another aspect of protect. Because from the data of the buyers, all right, sellers, from tenant, from rent to own, and so on,